How you guys doing? I'm Mark Morris. Today I wanted to help you guys understand a little bit more about the balance transfer. I've been talking about it. So I'm going to help you first if you want to transfer a credit card from, say, a Wells Fargo, Bank of America credit card. You're going to transfer it to a Citibank, because that's what they've sent. Citibank has been sending me stuff. I'm like, transfer your balance to a current credit card, transfer your balance. See, here it is right here. 0% APR on balance transfer until 1/1/24, or you can take this one, 0.99% on balance transfer until 7/7/01. Just remember, with any balance transfer, there is a fee. But for example, look at this right here. The standard balance transfer fee is 5 or 33% of the amount of each transaction. Basically, what they're saying is you're going to have to pay to play this game. So, for example, say you had a $1,000 credit card balance on a Wells Fargo that you're paying 23% interest on. That means for every dollar, so it means every month you're paying at least 230% interest. Before you can pay off, you got to pay at least $230 basically before you bring down that balance of $1,000. So I tried to work it out a little here. 3% of 1,000 is 3% of 20%. Say $10,000 at 23%. Say for a credit card, that's $230 in interest. So before you can bring down that $10,000 balance, you have to pay at least $230 in interest. Now, when you play the credit card transfer game, what you're basically going to do, you're taking that $10,000, you're paying a fee. Just think of that fee as just a way to get into the club. You're getting into the club. So now you get into the club. They're going to add that $230 to your $10,000 loan. Okay, and now you have $10,230 that you're going to be paying off at 0% interest until January 1st, 2024, which means every month that balance goes by, it doesn't go up. That's the good part. The bad part is you got to make sure you pay down that balance as much as possible. Otherwise, if you don't play the game right, after that, your variable purchase rate applies currently, 20.244%. Now you're back in the rat trap. Now you're back in the cage. Now okay, what am I going to do? Back at this. Not as much as 23, but 21.24. So that means now every month you have, say, for example, you do this in April, and you have 8 months, April, May, June, July, August. You know what I'm talking about. So you have 8 months to pay as much as this possible of this $10,230 down to zero, which means every penny you apply from now until January 1st reduces the amount of that loan you have. But what it also does, it wipes out the balance on the Wells Fargo one. That one goes to zero, so that looks like you may have paid it off. But now you just shifted the liability over. The reason I want to explain this to you is because if you're going to play this game, you got to be disciplined. That's why now, in the old days, I used to be able to transfer 18 months, 0% interest. There was no standard balance transfer fee is $5 or 3% of the amount of each transaction, which is greater. So if you have a Citibank card and you consider doing a balance transfer fee, before we even look at the math, before I show you all that stuff, first you got to understand what you're getting yourself into. You know how to play the game? Fee. Just think of the fee as your enrollment. The standard balance transfer fee is 5% or 3% of the amount of each transaction, whichever is greater. They're gonna get some money up front. But that's fine. That's okay. Instead of having a credit card where I was paying $10,000, $230 on, payments probably $340, reducing it by $100. Now I move that all over. So it's 0%. I can I can just put a penny toward that, and it brings down the balance $229.99. That's why you have to learn how to play the credit card balance transfer game, but you got to play it to win it. You ain't playing it just to play. You're playing it to reduce that amount as much money as much as possible, because if you try to spend any extra money on it, after that, your variable purchase rate applies currently. That means any new payments are going to be charged at 21.24%. So what's the use of transferring it if you're just going right back in there? So let me know what you think. How many of you have a Citibank credit card application and you're thinking about doing a transfer from a Wells Fargo, Bank of America, credit union line of credit? Read the fine print before you even get started. Do you want to play the game? Do you want to pay the $230 to get started? Then if you want to pay the $230 to get started, this is the APR for check transaction. They're giving you the race course to run on. You have a 0% race that you can run for 8 months. It's 0% is how long is what you have. 8 months you have to complete the race to reduce this money by as much as possible. But the way you save money is you're not spending that extra money on interest. You're just like all the money strictly going to reducing the loan. So try that out. Let me know what you think. How many of you guys have Citibank cards? I'm going to try to simplify it. But basically it's all about getting that money to pay down that credit card. So maybe in 8 months, instead of having $10,230, that $230 that would have went to interest at your other bank account before you can pay off your principal is going to go straight to reducing that $10,230 down to $9,000. See, that's how the game's played. Talk to you later.